Hello folks, I'm Milton Crabapple, and I'm a-cooking. Well, hello folks, my Crabapple's gone off to another one of them temperance league meetings with some of her friends, so I'm here left to fend for myself for dinner, so I decided I'm going to cook myself a really crappy dinner. So I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I do it. I think you're going to like this. All right, the first thing you got to have if you want to have a crappie dinner is you got to have a crappie or two to eat. Now this is a couple of nice sized slab crappie. Caught them a while back. Used to I could eat 5 or 6 of them things at one time, but now I can't eat as much as I used to, so a couple of them is going to make a real nice meal. I got about 3 tablespoons full of plain yellow cornmeal and about 3 tablespoons full of plain flour. That's mixed up together. That's what I'm going to bread them in. I'm going to put a little salt on them. I'm going to put a little Paul Prudhomme's seafood magic on them before we bread them. So I'll go ahead and do that now. We just salt them good on both sides. This is the way I do it. Everybody's got their own way to fry fish, kind of like barbecue, but this is the way I do it. Now, sometimes I experiment around with some little seasonings, but I'm going to try just a little bit of this Paul Prudhomme's. I kind of like it. Just gives them just a little bit of extra flavor. They don't need much. They don't really need anything, but sometimes I just like to play around with them. So these are the ingredients. Except for my peanut oil, I'm going to show you how I prepare that, so stand by. Now this is my cooker. It's just about I guess a two gallon stainless steel pot I like to cook fish in, and I got it full of peanut oil. I got my temperature gauge on it over here, thermometer. I'm going to wait till it gets up to about 325 to 350 degrees, and then I'm going to drop my fish in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to bread them. So what this is 2 Kroger bags put together. They got a little hole in the bottom of each one of them so they'll drain. So I use 2 of them so I don't get my breading out all over the kitchen. I've already put my meal and flour in there and dropped my fish in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake them up. Shake them up real good just for a few seconds. And what that does is it gives them a real nice, smooth, even coating. Now they're ready for the deep fry. Put them in my peanut oil. All right, now my oil's hot, so I'm just going to drop my fish in there. And I'm going to let them cook. Hot oil. Turn on that fan, let it get a little of that smoke out of the house, steam or whatever it is there. But I'm going to show you, they're just cooking away now down in that pan, you see. We let them cook there for about 3 or 4 minutes, and those rascals are going to be done. While my fish are cooking in the grease over here, I want to tell you about the last fishing trip I went on several weeks ago when it got down to like 0 degrees. It was so cold, and I told dude I'd love to go fishing, but it's so cold. He said, well, the pond's froze over. He said, it's been froze over for several days. He said, we ought to go ice fishing. I said, ice fishing? He said, yes, sir. He said, them folks up north do it all the time. They go out there and chop a hole in the ice and fish, so they catch lots of fish too. So we decided to try ice fishing. So we got all bundled up, went over there to the pond, and I'll tell you something, that ice fishing ain't for me. No, if you ain't never been, don't go. It's way too much work for me. You know, it must have took us almost 2 hours just to get a hole chopped out in the ice big enough to put the boat in. So what I've got here now is a plate with a couple of layers of paper towels on it to absorb the grease. So I'm going to just take my fish out of the cooker now, out of the peanut oil. They ought to be nice and brown and crunchy and ready to eat. Look at that. Yes, sir. That paper towel will absorb the oil. I'll let them sit there till they cool off a little bit, and then I'm gonna make me some hush puppies to go with them. But you're gonna have to wait till next time to see how I make the hush puppies. Because I want to sit down and eat these fish. I don't want to be messing around with video and while my fish are still hot. Well, folks, I hope this video was helpful on showing you how to have a crappie dinner. So excuse me, I'm going to go eat these fish. I got them right here. And you know where you start when you start eating brim or bass or crappie or any other small fish. The place to start eating them is the tail. Ain't nothing no better than a fried fish tail. So now I'm going to go eat the rest of them. Thanks for watching. Well, I figured as long as I was showing you how to cook crappie, I might as well show you how to eat one too. Now, I already ate the tail off. You saw me do that, and I ate the edge of the fins off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this top fin, and I'm going to take a hold of it, and I'm going to pull it right out of there. You see, it comes right out with all the bones on it. Now I'm going to take this bottom one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull on it, you see. Pulls all of them bones out. Now what I got is the fish with hardly any bones in it, so I just sit here and I start eating it. You can see how the meat just comes right off of them bones. There just ain't nothing no better than a good fresh fish that you caught yourself. Yes, sir. I wish you could be here with me. All I need to go with is a piece of bread. I don't know why, but bread goes good with fish. Next video, I'm going to show you how to make my famous hush puppies. I believe you'll like it. Show you how to make a good martini too. That's what they look like when you're just about finished with them. A little bit more meat on that one, but I'm about finished. You know, some people say, oh, I don't like to eat fish with bones in it. I want mine filleted. Well, there ain't much on here to fillet. Now, if you go to filleting it off, you're going to waste a lot of meat. Plus, leaving the skin on, there's a lot of complex flavors in the skin of a fish. And I like to eat the skin along with it. I don't want the skin to be missing from my bluegill or my shell crackers or my crappie. Plus, you get a lot more meat down around the bones, and it just tastes better to me. People say, well, I don't want to eat it with a bone in it, and I'm afraid I'll swallow one. Well, sometimes you get a bone in your mouth. You get a bone, you just take it out and put it on the plate or spit it out. You don't swallow the bones, you knothead. Who wants to swallow a bone? Anyhow, I don't like them filleted unless it's a big fish. I believe I'll go get me another one. I'm Milton Crabapple, and thanks for watching this episode of I'm A-Cookin'. Be sure to visit miltoncrabapple.com, check out all my CDs, DVDs, and downloads. Become a member of my fan club. Visit the website today. Much obliged.